There are 329 medal events in 45 sports at this year's Olympics, one making its debut, breaking. What you may know as breakdancing, probably. 16 men and 16 women compete in one-on-one improvised battles, judged on everything from technique to personality. And while it's new to Olympic competition, it's not new to the world. So before they hand out any Olympic gold in breaking, here's a quick look back at how it originally burst onto the scene.
It came to life in New York City in the 1970s. At house parties, the streets, and the playgrounds of the Bronx.
For breaking to be what it is today, do you think it had to start when and where even it started?
When and where determined the soul of it. You're looking at people who come from struggle. Most of the things that mean a lot and really hit your heart are things that come from being resilient and making something out of nothing.
Richard Colon, known by all as Crazy Legs, was part of the early breaking scene.
You used hallway buildings or to practice, you used your gym at school. You had to walk up to people and say, hey, are you this person? Oh, you break? Oh, you want to battle? And you take it right there on the concrete, or you go inside a tenement building hallway and you do your thing. And that's how you also got your name out there.
As later depicted in the 1984 film Beat Street, which Crazy Legs took part in, the mix of dance, gymnastics, even martial arts was a way of representing your neighborhood for some, for others, a way out.
The cool thing is that a lot of people who came from being a stick-up kid or a violent background who became dancers, if you developed your craft, you spent less time doing nonsense, which would eventually take you out of that lane.
For a teenage Crazy Legs, the draw was both competition and creativity.
When you came up with something visually dynamic, it became the thing. From the moment I did my version of a backspin, which added centrifugal force to it, it catapulted me to a whole different level, and all these people wanted to do that move.
You're competing with yourself as much as you're competing with others.
Yeah, absolutely. And we weren't even teenagers yet.
Yeah.
For us to be that dedicated, I find that one of the most amazing things.
And while it was dominated by men, he says it wasn't exclusive.
Put it this way, there was never a limitation on anyone being a part of it. Male, female, black, white, Latino, whatever.
Right.
You just had to be good. There was this one girl named Headspin Janet from the Bronx, Janet Soto. And when we had real battles, she was on the front lines with us.
The breaking scene intertwined with the early days of rap and hip-hop, which helped propel its growth.
That riding to a beat, if that beat hits you in a way that really takes your soul on a ride, the people who are watching you start to feel what's going on within you.
As a member of the group Rocksteady, one of the first known by mainstream media, Crazy Legs was very much a part of breaking's wider appeal.
We were literally marketing our names, and that's what led to the popularity.
National attention, like this spread in Life magazine,
That was feeling like you were on top of the world.
would help bring breaking well beyond the boroughs of New York. On the West Coast, Topper Carew, then a young filmmaker, was just starting out.
I heard about this thing that these kids were doing with no resources, and their stage was the street.
He was enraptured, sparking his 1983 documentary, Breakin' and Enterin'.
It felt right, and it felt like something I should record. I mean, I'd done blues musicians, jazz musicians, but all of a sudden there was this new phenomenon in my life.
Carew using his platform to give the kids of breaking one of their own. His film encapsulating its moves and culture.
Now I call this breaking thing a form of root dancing. I call hip-hop root music. It is rooted in an experience that comes from the bottom.
It's evolved so much even in the last 40 years.
It is so powerful and infectious that it has become a part of the cultural fabric of this country. You know, it's from, you know, concrete to the Olympics. You know,
Blows your mind.
it's mind-blowing.
I loved that, Topper told me that he had just watched his movie again before we spoke recently, and he still felt inspired from it. And Crazy Legs and I got into a whole conversation about how you judge this. I mean, you don't want to lose the soul in it, and these judges are trying to sort of judge the soul of each of these B-boys and B-girls. Coolest thing, one last thing I'll tell you guys, the music, they don't know it ahead of time. So they have to go out there, they improvise with moves that they have, but you really do have to feel it when you're there.
Wow, putting someone on the spot.
Yeah, very interesting.
Literally.
Very cool.
Love
Thanks,
that
Dana.
piece.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.